What is up, everybody, and you're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda on the eve of the Community Shield. Obviously, the Reds travelling to Wembley to take on Arsenal. It's not a trophy that I'm that fussed about, but hey, look, winning silverware is winning silverware, and for me, the most important thing, although albeit fans won't be inside the stadium, is that the Community Shield does raise a lot of money for good causes. But we want double looks. Do you know what I mean? We want to get off to a winning start this season. It's Arsenal. They beat us recently. Maybe there's a little bit of vendetta in my head. I don't know. I mean, it'll be nice to win the game. I'll go through the starting 11 that I've predicted, the score predictions, and lots of stuff in between. We'll talk transfers and we'll talk everything else as well, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do it a little bit differently tonight. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go through all the news that I have in one block. So that way, if people just want to come in and watch that, they can watch that. And then I'll spend the second half of the show just answering your comments and going through all the things that you guys want to talk about. So it'll still be 50-50. It's just that I'm kind of trying to make it so if someone just wants to come in for the news, they can get the news. Do you know what I mean? They don't have to kind of go through the entire 45-minute stream to get the latest gossip. But hello to you all anyway. And I want to thank everyone that's come over and joined us on the Flick Chat app. There's over 100 of you guys have come over since we first released it yesterday. We're really happy to be on there for this season. And if you aren't aware what the Flick Chat app is, let me just play you a quick little ad and then we'll get straight down to business. Hey everyone, it's Craig here. We're proud to announce that Anfield Agenda are going to be partnering with Flick for the new upcoming season. Flick is a new sports chat app where you can chat with other fans, engage in polls, quizzes, see up-to-date game stats and information, and prove your football knowledge in the prediction leaderboards. There may even be a few prizes along the way. We'll have our own group on there with custom gifts you guys can use in the chat. So sign up using the link in the description and we look forward to seeing you in there. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So the Flick app is going to allow us to be more interactive with you guys this season. On the app, you're going to see things like polls of who you think was man of the match, who you'd like to start. You can create any conversation topic that you want to talk about, be it Liverpool FC related or non-Liverpool related. The app's completely free to use, completely free to download. There is a link in the description as well. We'd love to see you guys in there. It just gives us more of a way to chat to you guys. We're not really massive fans of other platforms, but when they pitched us Flick, we just thought it was perfect for what we're doing here on Anfield Agenda. So we hope to see you over there, and as I said, there is a link in the description. Now, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, to Dinesh Karai, newest member to the family. Welcome, buddy. Right, look, let me go through the manager's notes from his press conference today. Well, I don't have his notes to hand, but my notes from Jurgen Klopp's pre-Community Shield press conference today. It looks like Jordan Henderson, Virgil van Dijk and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain have all been confirmed as fine for the game tomorrow. The gaffer went on to say that Trent Alexander-Arnold is really close and he'll make a final decision tomorrow on whether Trent is available or not to be part of the game. The club have also insisted that Divock Origi and Xherdan Shaqiri have been absent for the majority of pre-season because both were nursing injuries and not because of transfer speculation. Now, of course, everything is open to interpretation. There are various other thoughts out there as to why they both missed training camps. I mean, transfer speculation is one of them, but look, I'll allow you guys to take from that what you want. I'm just passing on what the gaffer had to say. I personally think both are available if the right price comes in. But speaking about Raheem Brewster, somebody who's impressed us all during pre-season, this is what the gaffer had to say about young Raheem. He said, Raheem looks really promising. He's still a young boy. Number 9 experience helps a lot. We have to work out how to give him that, but there's no reason to rush anything. He'll be involved tomorrow in the squad for sure. Now, there had been speculation as to maybe Raheem Brewster going out on loan this season. Sheffield United seem to be at the front of that queue. Leeds have also been interested. And look, there'll be a whole host of Premier League, Championship and European clubs looking to potentially bring in Raheem Brewster on loan for the season. It is a very difficult choice for the gaffer to make, and it might hinge on what happens with the likes of Origi. Perhaps if he moves on, then the gaffer will think that Raheem may get some more minutes. But either way, we have a very, very talented young man on our hands here at Liverpool Football Club, and I'd love to know what you guys think about Raheem Brewster in the comments section. Would you like to see him kept, or would you like to see him go? And when I say go, I do mean just on loan for the season, obviously. He also touched on transfers today in his press conference, Kloppo, and this is what he had to say. We'll see how much we can add and want to spend. We bought players in already. Costas, the kids are getting closer and look well. I don't know what will happen. There's a long time to go until October the 5th. We'll deal with our situation like we always have. We'll see how much we want or have to spend. weekend. Time is still uncertain for all of us, not just in football. The situation is not sorted, so we can't deal with it as though it is sorted. We're not living in dreamland where we can go, let's bring him in, let's bring him in, and later realise we have some problems. We deal with our situation, which is a good one, but we've been dealing with it for a while, and I think it could go on for a bit longer. Again, take from that what you will with regards to transfers. I think what I've said all along is that Liverpool are going to play the waiting game, and we may do business a lot later in the window than we'd usually expect with Jurgen Klopp. But Klopp always usually likes to try and get the players in early. But I've been reading a good bit of social media over the past 24 hours, and I've been pleasantly surprised to see the amount of Liverpool fans who are backing the kids, who are backing the younger players, who think that this may be a summer where clubs just have to give younger players an opportunity. And a lot of the fans out there seem to think that we've a very good crop of youngsters at Liverpool Football Club, and I do echo those sentiments, but I would be lying if I didn't come on here and say that I would like us to make a couple of additions in this upcoming window. I think we need another forward and potentially a centre back as well, depending on what the gaffer views that situation to be, whether he thinks he's got somebody within the ranks like Billy Kumetia, who'd been given one-on-one training to over the Austrian training camp, or whether Sepp Vandenberg or somebody else can step up. Again, all this will become clear as the window goes on. But the gaffer did refuse to speak much about Gini Wijnaldum today. He said that it's his policy not to talk about contract updates, but he did say that it's all good. Now, take from all good whatever you want. I'm not really sure how to interpret that. We have seen come out over the past 48 hours from various sources that Liverpool at this moment in time aren't going to be offering Gini Wijnaldum a new contract. And I will go in to talk about Gini in a lot more detail when I get onto the transfer section of the stream in a few minutes. But this is also acting as a Community Shield preview, so I just wanted to give you guys a rundown of my predicted 11 and my score prediction for the Community Shield. So here we go. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Right, here we go. So here's the predicted 11 that I've gone with. It's fairly straightforward. It's probably the same predicted 11 that you'll see in most places. In fact, the team almost picks itself with who we have available. Now, there will of course be probably a lot of changes made by Jurgen Klopp in the second half. May see the captain get some minutes as well. So what I've gone for here obviously is Alisson in goal, Neco Williams at right back, Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk as our centre backs, and Andy Robertson at left back. My midfield trio for this game: Fabinho, Gini Wijnaldum and Naby Keita. And then look, the front three are the front three. For me, if they're fit and available, they start, particularly when you're trying to get minutes in everyone's legs before the season. I've also gone for a 3-1 win for the Reds in my prediction. Klopp said he's taking the game seriously. He doesn't believe it's a friendly. He basically looks at this as the start of the season, so he's going to want to go out there and get a win. Obviously, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, after winning the FA Cup, their tails are going to be high, and this is going to be a trophy, if you want to call it a trophy, that Arteta will probably want to add to his collection as well, because it does give a little bit of a confidence boost to players and the team before the season starts. Again, I'm not somebody that ever really holds this competition in great esteem. I mean, it is what it is. It's there to raise money for some good causes, but at the end of the day, it's another little bit of silverware, so why not go out and try and win the game if you have a game to play. Again, with the second half, we'll probably see the likes of Brewster get some minutes, maybe even the captain and a few others as well. So just let me know what you guys think. If you agree with my predicted 11, let me know. If you agree with my score predictions, again, please do let me know. As I said, it's a fairly straightforward starting 11. There might be one or two surprises. Takumi might get a start, perhaps, I don't know. Curtis Jones is obviously knocking on the door as well. He could make a good argument as to why he should start the game, and again, he's probably somebody that we will see get some minutes during the second half perhaps. Right, I'm going to move back anyway and go to our regular show. So, transfer talk. As I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go through all your comments. Don't worry about that in the second half of the show. But for the first half, I'm just going to go through all the information in one heap. So if people are coming in, they can enjoy it and then go about their weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are enjoying the stream, though, please do hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. As you can see, we've now hit 43.1k, and that is only because of your amazing support. So, transfer talk. This is my favourite section. I love the whole summer and the January window. I'm a big transfer hound, as you guys know. I spend my days reading every bit of gossip I can from every article I can to try and piece together as much information as I can present to you guys. So let's start with Gini Wijnaldum. Probably the most high profile of the possible outgoings at Liverpool Football Club this summer. So Goal have revealed, and Goal obviously a very good source, very credible source, they've revealed that their sources have confirmed that Barcelona are indeed interested in bringing Gini Wijnaldum to the new camp. They go on to say that Gini isn't pushing for a move and that as of yet there's no offer on the table for the player. They also say that any deal would require Barcelona to free up some money through player sales. So again, this may be something that drags out. Now, it has to link into Thiago at this point. I mean, there's no way it can't. It looks like both clubs probably have to free up a few quid. Now, various sources as well have been saying that talks between Liverpool and Bayern Munich are set to take place over the coming week. We know what the figure is that Bayern Munich want. It's €30 million. And the rumour is that Liverpool want a little bit less than that for Gini Wijnaldum if they are to move him on. But don't rule out the fact that Klopp could let Gini Wijnaldum see out his contract and leave for free like he did with Emre Can. In this particular situation, I'd be a bit shocked if he did that because we know that money is tight for everybody. Well, unless you're Chelsea and Manchester City, money is tight for everybody else at this moment in time, and Jurgen Klopp may have to cash in on Gini Wijnaldum to fund that move for Thiago. I know a lot of Reds out there are getting impatient on Thiago. I know a lot of people out there are just waiting for it to happen. But as I've said all along, just stay relaxed, stay calm. This is a window different to any other transfer window that we've had. So this is a summer different to any other summer that any of us have probably lived through. So do wait on this one and wait and see what happens. But there is some promising news on Thiago. I do have a little bit of a booster. Again, the really credible, really reliable sources coming to the fore today. James Pearce, or as we like to call him on the channel, James Pearce, has confirmed that Liverpool do hold an interest in Thiago, but says there has been no direct contact between the clubs at this stage. Now, again, there were loads of people on social media putting up quotes attributing them to James Pearce that he said he never said, but this one he has confirmed that he does think and know that Liverpool hold an interest, which kind of goes against what his old employers, the Echo, have been saying. They've been saying all along that from their sources, Liverpool at this moment in time do not currently hold an interest in Thiago. But as I've said to you before, that seems to be softening quite a bit, that stance, and that they're still putting up Thiago rumours every single day. And this one, I spoke to you before, Thiago and the Bayern Munich players had an end of season kind of party after the Champions League victory, and Thiago and his family went around basically saying their goodbyes to everybody. So it's fairly clear that he's going to be leaving Bayern Munich, and the only real destination for him is Liverpool. So again, I know you've all been hurt with Werner, I know you've all been hurt with Fekir, I'm with you, but will it happen 3 times? I'd be very doubtful. I do think this one will happen with Thiago, but it's going to be the waiting game. And if you think it's bad for us, imagine how them poor Manchester United fans feel now about the whole Jadon Sancho thing. I have been looking at that situation from the outside and kind of chuckling a little bit, to be fair. There's a lot of desperation for United fans to try and get that one over the line, but it'd be nice if he did move this summer, because that would put us in the conversation perhaps for Jadon Sancho next summer. Right, I want to move on. There was a really small Spanish outlet that claimed that Liverpool had once again made contact with Sevilla over centre-back Diego Carlos. Now, Diego Carlos, I'm sure a lot of you guys have watched during the Europa League knockout mini tournament, or maybe even beforehand, and he had a bit of a mixed bag. He gave away a penalty, picked up a lot of yellows, but did score that overhead kick that I still don't understand how it didn't go down as an own goal off Lukaku. But anyway, we are where we are. I've not seen anything else to suggest that we have gone back in for Diego Carlos. His buyout clause is about €75 million, I think, but he is available apparently for somewhere around £40 to £50 million. So again, let's wait and see, but I wouldn't hold my breath on this one. I can't see us going out and spending that type of money on, what do we do, a fourth choice centre back, if that's what we're replacing, because I think most of us would agree that Dejan Lovren was probably Liverpool's fourth choice centre back behind Van Dijk, Gomez and Matip. Now, some people have Matip and Gomez in a different order, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. We're still talking about a fourth choice centre back, so to spend that much money when we're having to scrape together and look down the side of the couch and all to try and get the money for Thiago, yeah, no, I just can't see that one happening yet, unless we move on a whole host of players. And this will be a period where we probably will see people starting to go out the door at Liverpool Football Club. Now, we touched on this yesterday, but today it's been confirmed that Ovi Ejaria has completed his permanent transfer to Championship side Reading. We knew that this was coming because the season loan deal that he had a clause in it that deal would become permanent. And if my memory is correct, I think Liverpool bank about £3.2 million or something like that from the transfer of Ajaria to Reading. So another few quid in the Liverpool coffers. We did bring in the money for Dejan Lovren, but that was pretty much spent when we brought in Kostas Tsimikas. So maybe it will be the likes of Wilson moving on, maybe even Grujic moving on. We spoke again, there was links to Atalanta for Grujic. There have been links to Hertha Berlin, although they can't afford the £18 million that was in the contract that they had with Liverpool. They had an option to buy Grujic at the end of his loan. They can't afford that money, so there are other clubs in Germany and Italy. I believe AC Milan had been linked with Grujic at one point. So this will be a summer maybe where those fringe players Liverpool will look to move on and then maybe fund a couple more deals. But I know people are getting impatient. I know people want definite answers, but I've always told you, I'm going to be honest on here. I'm not going to come on and blow smoke up your arse or tell you a load of lies. Everything that I've always said to you guys have come from articles that I deem to be credible, at least, put it that way. Couple more things before I move on to your comments when we get into the interactive part of the stream, ladies and gents. So Liverpool versus Leeds, the Reds' first game of the season, that has been confirmed as being televised, and it will be on Sky Sports at 5:30 on Saturday, September the 12th. So that's good news, but it gets better. The Reds opening 3 games of the Premier League season, they're all actually going to be shown on Sky Sports. The game against Chelsea will be aired on Sunday, September 20th at 4:30, and our third game, which is a home to Arsenal, will take place on Monday, September the 28th. That'll be an 8 p.m. kickoff. So that they always feel like long weekends for me. You know, when the Reds aren't in action until Monday, they always feel like quite long weekends to me. But that's basically what I'm up to, ladies and gentlemen, with what has been a relatively quiet day today ahead of the Community Shield. If I'm right, it's a bank holiday weekend over in the UK. It isn't now here in Ireland, but if it is a bank holiday weekend and you have one in the UK, enjoy it, celebrate it, spend some time with your loved ones. And look, let me get into the chat now, ladies and gentlemen, and see how you're all feeling. Any questions you want to put in, anything you want to talk about, this is your show. I'm going to go fully interactive now for the rest of the show. As always, again, I want to give a shout out to our Flick Chat account. There is a link in the description, and I'll play that little video again at the end of the stream. Anything else you guys want to bring up? The floor is yours. Super chats are open, super stickers are open, and most importantly, as our friend did earlier on at the start of the show, if you want to become a member of Anfield Agenda FC, please do hit that join button or have a look in the description of the stream. There's a link there as well. Membership of our channel is $4.99 a month, and what you get for that is the Anfield Agenda badge beside your name. As you guys know, you probably see it there in the chat. That badge has a variant of colours. The longer you're with us, that badge changes colour until eventually at 6 months you get the nice red Anfield Agenda badge. You also get use of a load of custom emojis that you can see in the chat now. Stuff like Si Senor, the Virgil van Dijk emoji, the Klopp emoji, stuff that we use during games and stuff for a bit of fun. Those are only available to our members. And finally, our members have access to an exclusive Anfield Agenda Discord group, which is where we talk to these guys about the future of the channel. We share stories, we give them a bit of a heads up to what we're going to be talking about, and we try and just help shape the future of our channel, and that's what we want the members to be there for, because it's your channel. So again, if you want to become a member, hit that join button. Right, to your comments, ladies and gentlemen. We're all the champions. Yes, we are, Mark. Yes, we are, sir. Connor said, Flick link is the top line of the description for those who are asking. There you go. Boom. But you can just download from the App Store as well if you want to. Just make sure you join the Anfield Agenda group. But it would help us out greatly if you do use the link in the description of the stream. As Connor said, it's the top one. Right, next season they're going to be doing 3 p.m. blackout games on TV. No, this season they're going to allow the 3 p.m. They've removed that blackout for this season. Well, I say for the season, that's not necessarily true. They've removed the 3 p.m. blackout until fans start getting back inside the stadium. So none of us know when that is. But as for the time being, 3 p.m. games will be shown. What about Diego Carlos? Cheyenne said, yeah, I touched on him earlier on, buddy. I just can't see us spending that much money on Diego Carlos, which is, yeah, I don't know, man. I just can't see it personally. I mean, the profile of the player, what is he, 27 years of age? I think, I can understand the links, put it that way, but if we're struggling to get that money for Thiago, I just don't see where we get the money to buy Diego Carlos from at this moment in time. And look, it hurts me sitting here talking about this. It hurts me sitting here talking about the fact that we're having to scrape together money when we've won the Premier League, the Champions League, and we've got a load of television revenue and stuff, but we are where we are, and there's no point in me coming on here and telling lies. Should we get Suarez as a sub, asked Stephen O'Grady? Absolutely not, mate, no. Luis Suarez to me is over the hill as far as I'm concerned. He'd been linked with a few clubs. He'd been linked with a move to Juventus was the latest one I'd seen. There was talk of maybe a move back to Ajax, although I'm not sure if they could afford Suarez wages. But no, I don't see him coming back to Liverpool, buddy. I really don't. Elijah John 5 said, I have a feeling Mane wouldn't be a success at Barcelona. Well, not at this moment in time, mate. I mean, let's assume that Messi moves, and at that, I would say that that's 50-50, to be honest with you, with regards to the whole Lionel Messi situation. I've been paying attention to Graham Hunter, obviously, with regards to this. Graham Hunter, a friend of ours, and also somebody who's very well informed on all things Spanish football related. And I've been trying to keep up to date. Now, the big question, I suppose, around Messi is it a power play? Is he trying to get the president out? Is he trying to get somebody in who he believes will move the club forward? And is he trying to just be guaranteed or given reassurances that the squad will be bolstered over there at Barcelona? But it's going to be very difficult to do that when they don't really have any money. So moving players on this summer is going to be key for Barcelona. And the Messi situation, it will be, as his name is, it will be a messy situation. It's not going to be easy, because even if they manage to find a way to get him, and I'm talking about Manchester City here because they seem to be the front runners. There was a piece put out there that said Paris Saint-Germain contacted Messi's father, but they were told that Manchester City would be the destination if he was going to move. And look, you can make the easy links, of course, from Lionel Messi to Manchester City with Pep Guardiola, with cheeky Begiristain there as well. But it's a whole lot of money. It's a whole lot of money, and I went through this last night in more detail. The Messi situation is going to drag on a little bit, to be fair. When you're talking about a player whose image profile is as high as he is, when you've got those competing contracts as well, because Messi's an Adidas footballer, he has a contract with Adidas for life, but Manchester City's kit supplier is Puma. And just in case you didn't know, two German brothers started those two companies, and there's a fierce rivalry, I believe, between Puma and Adidas as well. So there is that obstacle to overcome with regards to Lionel Messi, who's been I think he's signed for life to Adidas to then go and be wearing Puma shirts. I know he was wearing Nike shirts, by the way, at Barcelona, but as I said, there is a rivalry or a bit of hatred between those two companies from what I've been led to believe. Right, more of your comments. I can't get on to Flick, please help me guys, said Prometheus. There was a link went into the chat there. Somebody put a link into it. So again, just download it and you'll see the Anfield Agenda group on there, and then just click in and join. If City get Messi, does it put Pep under even more pressure, said Warren. Absolutely, pal. 100%. I mean, let's be frank about this. Pep Guardiola was brought in to the last two clubs to do one thing and one thing only, to win the Champions League. He didn't do it at Bayern Munich, and he hasn't done it so far at Manchester City. Now, Lionel Messi is driven by the desire to win the Champions League again. Make no bones about that. Anyone close to that situation will tell you that. He wants to be in a competitive environment around good players, and he wants to be able to challenge for the Champions League. Will he do that at Manchester City? I mean, you could make an argument to say that adding Messi to any team would make them contenders in the Champions League, and Manchester City do have a very good squad, but they also have a habit of not going deep into the Champions League. And would Messi be able to overcome that? I don't know, but Pep Guardiola, in my opinion, will be measured by whether he delivers this Champions League to Manchester City or not. As I said, he didn't quite do it at Bayern Munich, and as of yet, he hasn't even come close to doing it with Manchester City. So I would say yes, he'd be under a lot of pressure, pal. Hi Craig, what happened with Mondi, and would you prefer Havertz or Thiago? It's a good question actually. I mean, if you guys remember Mondi, he was a centre back from Real Betis that we were linked with a €10 million move for. He was in his last year of his contract at Real Betis. I think he was an Algerian international. That's gone all quiet from what I've seen. I've seen no links lately at all to Mondi. And would I prefer Havertz or Thiago? Havertz. I mean, I think most people would say Havertz, and the reason I think a lot of people would say Havertz is because of the age bracket. He's a very young player with his whole career ahead of him, but don't get me wrong. If you go get Thiago, you're getting a player who's going to come straight into that team and know what his job is, know how to perform it, and know how to make things tick. Whereas Kai Havertz is not the finished article yet. There is some development left ahead of him. So I would like a player now to come into that midfield of ours and immediately make a difference. He'll get more time, I think, at Chelsea than he perhaps would on the pitch at Liverpool at this moment in time. But Kai Havertz is a very good footballer, and I'm not going to just lie about it because he's going to a rival. Right, how many players do you think we will sign? Asked Benjamin Terrell. I think two more. 2 more would be my guess. 2 more senior players anyway. We may sign some more youngsters, of course, but we don't really count that when we're having these conversations. Right, more of your comments to get through. As I said, I'm going to keep going, ladies and gentlemen, so keep your comments coming. Any questions you have, right, and you want to talk about, this is your show. Bring Coutinho back to a few people. Let's have a quick poll on the Coutinho situation. So as we know right now, Coutinho has kind of been out in the cold at Barcelona. Bayern Munich didn't trigger the clause to make his deal permanent, and whether or not Ronald Koeman wants him there remains to be seen. But give me a thumbs up if you take Coutinho back at Liverpool, or give me a thumbs down in the chat if you wouldn't take Coutinho back at Liverpool. Personally, me, no, I wouldn't, but I'm a bit bitter about stuff like that, to be fair. But he's a talented footballer, but I wouldn't want him back at the club. That's just me. And particularly with the money that would go along with it, by the way. Escape Ado said Messi goes to City, Mane goes to Barca, Sancho goes to Liverpool. Mane is not going to be going anywhere this summer. I'll be absolutely amazed at that. But next summer, I've always said I think one of our front three will move on. And the Sancho thing, look, we're not going to be in for Sancho this summer. I mean, I'd be absolutely flabbergasted if we had any interest in trying to pursue Sancho this summer. Excuse me, we probably have the interest, I meant to say intent, on going after him this summer. Now, if he doesn't move to Manchester United or elsewhere this summer, and that deadline that was set by Borussia Dortmund of, I think it was August the 10th or the 11th, that has passed, and they're under no pressure whatsoever to sell Jadon Sancho. He's a contract with the club until 2023. He's surrounded by very good players. He's going to be playing in the Champions League, competing for the Bundesliga. So yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world if he does stay there for another season. And if I'm being brutally honest about this, Jadon Sancho, I think he can do better than Manchester United. That's just my opinion on it. I genuinely, if I was advising him right now, United wouldn't be the move I'd be advising him. I'd be telling him to sit tight at Dortmund and wait for the bigger offers to come in next summer. But again, I would say that being a Liverpool fan, wouldn't I? Base Face and Space said, any chance we keep Brewster? Yes. It's not, the decision hasn't been made yet. Of course, the club will probably be exploring the possibilities of options for a loan move for Raheem Brewster, but I don't think, and from what Jurgen Klopp said in his press conference earlier on, that any final decision has been made on young Raheem Brewster. I'd love to see him kept at the club, but only if he gets minutes, or if he's going to get minutes, and it is going to be very difficult for him to get minutes, because let's say right now what we have in the squad, we've got our front three, then we've got Divock Origi, Takumi Minamino, and then maybe you're looking at Raheem Brewster as in there. I'd put Raheem Brewster, by the way, probably second on that list. I'd probably go Takumi Minamino, Brewster, and then Origi. I think Origi and Shaqiri we can maybe add into the pile with Grujic and Wilson as being available if the right money comes in for a transfer. And the whole thing on Wilson's gone very quiet, by the way. I haven't seen much on Harry Wilson at all. Right, let's see how you're voting with regard to Coutinho. It seems to be pretty split, to be fair. I'd rather have Coutinho than Oxlade-Chamberlain, said Dara. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from, Dara, with regards. I know people are frustrated as well that Chamberlain's picking up a few injuries and stuff. I get it, but yeah, you know me. I do love Chamberlain, so I'm going to defend him. Yeah, bit of a mixed bag. No thank you, said Warren. A few yeses. No chance for Coutinho, said air traffic control. Where will we come next season? I'm going with top, buddy. I'm going with top of the table. I don't think it's important to do the double on United this season, or I think it is important. Excuse me, Daryl Brennan said, I think it's important to do the double on United this season. The most important thing, look, I always want to beat United. United and Everton, the two games I look out for every time the fixtures are released. And yeah, look, dropping any points this season is going to be difficult because, well, everyone's going to drop points, but what I mean is it's going to be, I think, a far more competitive title race than it was the season before. But I always want to beat United twice as well. Hopefully they don't go too ultra defensive like they did against us in previous games, but maybe they back themselves a little bit more now, United. They have a bit more confidence. Jeremiah said, I can't see Brewster staying. Our system doesn't fit him. Systems can always be altered, mate. I mean, I wouldn't rule out the fact. The most important thing about Raheem Brewster is he scores goals. Wherever he's going to be, the dude will score goals. 11 and 21 appearances for Swansea. 3 in pre-season for the Reds already in less than one full game. It's he's a goal scorer, man. So we could tweak the system, and the gaffer really, really, really does rate young Raheem Brewster. Toblum said, I think Coutinho will do better at Barcelona without Messi. I agree, and I don't think Coutinho was given a real chance at Barcelona. I think they played him out of position. I think when he went there, he probably assumed that he was going to be taking over the Xavi and Iniesta type role, and he ended up pushing them a bit further out into the left-hand side from what I'd been seeing. So, yeah, there you go. People saying thank you for responding. Hey, it's my pleasure. This is an interactive show. This is why I love it. We get to share opinions and ask questions of each other, because I ask you guys stuff all the time. Look, if you are enjoying the stream, ladies and gentlemen, please do hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up as well. And don't forget, super chats, super stickers and memberships are all open on the channel. Hi Craig, when do you think Thiago will happen? It's really frustrating dragging on. I know, Keen, I hear you, buddy. But I can't give you a timeline without lying to you. I think today was a really quiet day, and quiet days tends to mean that maybe there is a little bit of something happening behind the scenes that is all being kept hush-hush. That's, again, just my opinion, but I would be amazed if we don't hear something late weekend, early next week with regards to this. Look, I wish I could give you definitives. I wish I could tell you some of the stuff I've been told, but I won't ever come on and just spread rumour. I only ever try to talk about things that I know are fact or have been reported elsewhere, and not just stuff people have sent to me, which I believe some of, by the way. But again, I'll never bring it to the show, because that's not the style of way we do things. We try and be just as on. I actually had some guy in the comments last night saying everything you talk about is just gossip. Come back to me when you've got facts. Well, if I had facts, motherfucker, I'd be owning the club, because nobody has the information that you so wish. And I did think it was funny that he was so important that he thought that I actually gave a damn about whether I convinced him or not. I couldn't give a shit, pal, if you're watching. My job on here is to gather the information and to have a conversation with people. I never claimed to be an ITK, never claimed to have any inside information. That's not my cup of tea. If I ever do gain that inside information, and I ever do get better sources moving forward, then I will share them. I am pretty well connected inside the football industry, but not to the extent that I have first dibs on what's going on at Liverpool Football Club with regards to transfers, because let's be fair, people who are much closer to this than me, people like Melissa Reddy, people like James Pearce, Paul Joyce, The Echo, even they have varying opinions on this, and they are certainly more clued up than I am. Klopp is in transfer a game face mode, said Vinny. I like that, Vinny. Well played. Thanks for respond. Loving the content, said Keen. Again, my pleasure, mate. Thank you for watching. I hate when people think the title and the Premiership are two different things. I don't know if anyone's ever made that mistake with me. Hey Craig, did you see Matt Doherty transfer the Spurs? Bags Bowes 1.5 million. I did see that, Ella, and lovely to see you in, mate. I hope that you're well. I did see, yeah, so they signed him, I think, for 75 grand or something like that, if my memory's correct. And now that he's going to move to Spurs, Bohemians, a Dublin-based football club here in Ireland, will get a massive 1.5 million quid from that transfer if Matt Doherty goes to Spurs, which is huge money for a club in Irish football. So well done to everyone involved there. Love your journalism. Give me a shout out, please, said William Farrell. My pleasure, William, and thank you. Lovely to have you with us. Do you think Brewster will be able to fill in for Firmino if he gets injured this season? Now, they are very different types of player, Danny, so it may well be a case that we slightly tweak systems if that is the case. If Brewster was to head our attack, I would suggest that we may end up with a 4-2-3-1 type system, but it is all guesswork until we see this come to life. But would he be able to fill in for Bobby? Yes and no. He doesn't do the same stuff that Bobby Firmino does. He hasn't got the game intelligence yet that Bobby Firmino has, and he hasn't got the level of pressing and stuff that Bobby Firmino has. But that will all be worked on, and that will all come with experience as well. But Bobby Firmino is an exceptional player. I know some people have a little gripe that he doesn't score as many goals as they'd want, but I love the guy. He's my favourite player at the club, and I can't understand how everybody doesn't love him as much as I do, to be quite honest with you. Craig, who do you think are best midfield trio right now if they're all fit, said RSH14. It's a difficult question because I'm going to give you an answer, by the way. I'm not going to cop out on this one. I will give you an answer, but it depends on the opposition. So when somebody asks me this question, I always assume that we're playing a really competitive team. So we're playing United or we're playing Barcelona in the Champions League, and then I'll give you my answer. But it does depend on who we're playing. I would say that our best midfield trio at home, if we're looking to attack a little bit, Can I include Thiago? Because if I can't, I won't include Thiago for the time being. Jordan Henderson, Naby Keita, and either Gini or Firmino, depending on which way we want to set up. I think Naby Keita is going to be a monster for us this season. I think a lot of people always don't include Jordan Henderson in their best midfield trios. For me, you see what we're missing when Hendo isn't on the pitch, so I'd always have him in my starting 11. And then it's just a matter of whether it's going to be Fabinho, whether it's Gini Wijnaldum, or whether it's James Milner. So I'd probably go with... it's weird because you lose something if Hendo's in the 6. I'd probably go with Fabinho, Henderson, Keita. But it's a very difficult decision to leave Gini out of that. And if Thiago comes in, the decision gets even more complicated. Sheon Ganglai, I hope I pronounced that one correctly, is going for Keita, Fabinho and Hendo. Again, same as myself, mate. Include Thiago, said V8. I like it, mate. If I was to include Thiago, I would go Thiago, Henderson, Keita. I would just shift Fabinho out for that particular game. If we were looking to defend a bit more, then, you know, we do have the option then to play both of them in there and just one more advanced midfielder ahead of them, which again is intriguing. What I love about Thiago and Fabinho and most defensive midfielders like that is particularly when you've got a team like ours that our fullbacks bomb forward, you're usually left then with just the two at the back with Van Dijk and Gomez, and you often see either Jordan Henderson or Fabinho or Thiago, if he was here, drop back in then when we're in attack just to split the centre backs and give us that three at the back. Nice jersey, said VA. Thank you, mate. I know it divides opinion. My wife absolutely hates it, but I absolutely love it. Our win percentage goes up with Hendo, said Dave Smith, which is, I believe, true, Dave. I remember reading something like that somewhere myself. Would you sell Salah next season to get Sancho? Yes, I would. I'm not even going to make any bones about it. I would. Next season, if we had to sell Mohamed Salah to get Jadon Sancho, I would sell Mohamed Salah. He'll be, 29 then? Yeah, I would. I would. I don't know if people disagree with me on that one or not, but you do have to keep refreshing your squad every now and again, and sometimes it's about selling the player at the right time, and I think Jurgen Klopp will make good judgment on that, and if it probably would be the right time to move him on if we were to move him on. But look, nobody wants to see Mo leave. Everybody loves Mo, including myself, but again, I'll only give you honest answers, and yeah, I would. What do you guys think? Would you do it? I mean, you put me on the spot and I'm happy to answer, but I'd like to know what you guys think. Would you rather have Sancho next summer or Mohamed Salah? I know Mohamed Salah puts up mad numbers and is consistently still underrated by a lot of fans. But you're talking about then Jadon Sancho having got another season under his belt, because you did say next summer, another bit of, experience in the Champions League, probably some more international football as well. So you're getting a more experienced player there than you'd be getting this summer. How much for Salah in today's market, said Craig Challoner. That is, man, that's a difficult... I'd have to say north of 150. I would be amazed if we didn't get 150 minimum. And quite frankly, I wouldn't accept anything less than that. I mean, I'd probably think 150 to 170. Maybe somewhere in the realistic region there. He is the highest paid player at the football club as well, just for your information. Sancho is incredibly overrated. Salah is way better, said Sidney Fisher. The thing about Sancho is, and this is what appeals to me a lot of the time, is I'm a sucker for players that have had a breakthrough and are still really young. I mean, Sancho has his whole career ahead of him. Mbappe has his whole career ahead of him. Haaland has his whole career ahead of him. Brewster has his whole career. Jones, Elliott. This is why I'm excited by these type of players. But it is about getting the right mix of youthful exuberance and experience, because you do want players who have been there and done that. But football's a ruthless business, and as much as it pains me to say this, one of the best that there was about judging a time to sell players was Sir Alex Ferguson, and he moved players on many a time at the right time when we didn't see it. And we've done it in the past as well. I mean, we seemed to move Fernando Torres on just at the right time. His career seemed to wane a little bit in goal scoring ability, in my humble opinion anyway. Scotty, how are you, buddy? Welcome into the chat. Ian Harper reckons 175 mil for Salah. V8's gone 185. David Carroll said Sancho to Liverpool. I would love that one. Paul Thompson said Thursday will be the announcement you're all waiting for. That's a big statement, Paul. I mean, I hope you're right, mate. I sincerely do. I don't mind if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, as long as the announcement comes. But that's a big statement, Paul. And if you're right, I will absolutely give you credit for it, mate. Sancho was just another Jordan Ibe, said air traffic control. I mean, it's interesting. And I can understand why people might be a bit hesitant to believe the hype about Jadon Sancho. I do understand why people have some doubts as well. I'd cash in on Salah, said Warren DTV. What do you think would buy Salah for that money? Or who do you think would buy Salah, for that money? Again, man, it has to be one of three clubs, doesn't it? Real, Barca or PSG. Maybe Juventus, but I don't know if he'd fancy a move back to Italy, having already played there. I mean, Salah hasn't played in Spain yet, so maybe that would be, the kind of trifecta that he'd want to get done. Well, it would be more than a trifecta because obviously he played in Switzerland as well, didn't he, with Basel? Craig, would you sell Salah this minute for Sancho? No, not this minute. Next summer, yes, not this minute. I want this team to stay together because I think this team are on the verge of... I know we've already done great things. They've already achieved a lot, but I think that there's more to come from this team this season. And I know a lot of people get excited about signings, and I'm one of them, but there's a lot to be said for continuity as well. And this team knows each other. This team knows each other inside out. And the more they play together, the more experience they get together, I think the better that they'll be. And they're still a relatively young team with regards to how long they've been assembled. So being able to keep this team like we have done for last season and this season, it's probably something we wouldn't have been able to do 4 or 5 years ago before Jurgen Klopp came. We would probably have seen one of our front three, if not two of them, move on to one of the Spanish clubs. But with the success that we're having and the manager that we have, the players realise that they can achieve all of their goals here at Liverpool Football Club. They've won the Club World Cup, Champions League, Premier League, Super Cup. That's the pinnacle of the game, so they know we're a destination club that will be challenging for the very top honours, whereas we probably couldn't have said that 4 or 5 years ago, realistically. Craig, how good is Keita really? Do I trust him to perform? I would say that Naby Keita is exceptionally good, and yes, I do trust him to perform. Like everybody else, I'm just always a little bit nervous about the injuries. But if Naby Keita stays injury free, we've got an exceptional footballer on our hands, and I think Naby Keita will have his breakthrough season in the Premier League this season. He showed us at the end of last season what he's capable of. Got himself a goal in pre-season as well. I love Naby. I absolutely love him. I have a big framed Naby Keita shirt, like you can't see it, but just above my head there, which is behind my green screen. Damien Phillips is saying hello from South Africa. How are you, buddy? Welcome, lovely to have you in. Anyone new to the chat, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the stream as well. Again, I want to just play the little Flick ad for those that are coming in that aren't aware that we're now on Flick. It's an amazing chat platform that allows us to put polls up. You guys can put polls up. We can talk about different topics. We can share breaking news. It's where we're going to be when we're not online. So if you want to interact with us offline, Flick is the way to go. This little video will explain more. Hey everyone, it's Craig here. We're proud to announce that Anfield Agenda are going to be partnering with Flick for the new upcoming season. Flick is a new sports chat app where you can chat with other fans, engage in polls, quizzes, see up-to-date game stats and information, and prove your football knowledge. In the prediction leaderboards, there may even be a few prizes along the way. We'll have our own group on there with custom gifts you guys can use in the chat. So sign up using the link in the description, and we look forward to seeing you in there. So, what we're going to be able to do with Flick this season is we're going to have a prediction leaderboard and stuff. So you guys are going to come in and be able to predict the scores and who wins each game. And we'll have a league table at the end of the season, or at the end of each month. There may even be some prizes for those who are leading those league tables. Flick is also going to become part of our post-match show on Anfield Agenda. We're going to put up a vote on there for man of the match, so you guys get to decide who is your man of the match in each game. And it's just a way that we can increase the interactive nature of what we do, and that's what we've always been about from day one, interacting with you guys. And if we can find a way now to do that when we're offline and in a really fun way, why not? We think it's a fantastic app. We were delighted to be pitched it by them, and after playing around with it and having our members play around with it for a few days, we got a glowing reference and we decided, hey, let's launch it, let's go live with it before the the Community Shield. So that app is available. Link is in the description. We've already got 100 of you guys over there. We'd like to get as many of you as possible because it's a 24/7 thing. If we're not on there, doesn't matter. Other members will be on there and you guys can continue to chat. You can even share some stories with me that you'd like me to talk about on the stream. If you think I've missed out on a link or anything, boom, whack it into the chat. We'll talk about it and we'll bring it onto the stream then. That is the beauty of this app. It is class and it's completely free to download. It is completely free to use and there's even some fun little emojis and stuff on there as well. Anyone that's used it, by the way, is giving us great feedback on it. So what have you got to lose? Great, love the app, said David Carroll. There you go, straight away. You still doing hot mic, said VA. We're unsure. We're unsure as to whether to go ahead and continue using hot mic or not. If you guys want us to do it, again, happy to do it. But if you don't want us to do it, we're happy to... maybe we can have a vote on this. That's what we'll do. We'll bring this over to Flick and we'll throw up a vote. So you guys can decide whether we use hot mic or not. So there you go. I've hopefully got a few more of you over to make that decision. Craig, I agree with you about Naby Keita, said David Farman, excuse me. Thank you, mate. I'm glad somebody agrees with me. I've got the same shirt as you and I'm wearing it, said Alfie G. Nice one. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy wearing mine, mate. It definitely stands out, doesn't it, this shirt? Have you heard of Kylian Hoover lately? Yes, mate. I spoke about Kylian Hoover yesterday. He may be going out on loan this season. I haven't seen where to yet, but there is a lot of interest, obviously, in taking Kylian Hoover on loan. But there is a distinct possibility he may well go out on loan this season. Optimistic about Takumi and Keita. Hope they all step up to the next level, said Cape Town Muslim. Lovely to see you in the chat, buddy. I hope you're well. No point doing hot mic right now anyways, as it's mainly to sync the stream with a live match, which there are no matches. Well, that is exactly what hot mic is for, as you said, and it would only be used on match days. It allows us to allows you to sync up our commentary direct to your television. It is cool, but I think I like the app. I just think there's still more to come from it, and I don't know if it's there yet. But I do like it. I do love the idea behind the app, and the people that have made the app and created the app are lovely people as well. Craig, you got anyone on the back of the shirts? I do well, hello there. No, I don't really do names on the back of the shirts. I don't even have badges on this one actually, because when I went to order this shirt, I had to order it directly from Nike. Because Liverpool had sold out in their pre-sale, so it was already expensive enough. It was €90 just for this shirt, and it's the stadium version. So I didn't want to spend any more money on badges. But for the home one, I do have the Club World Cup badge and the Champions League badges on them as well. Would love to see him go to the Championship. Kylian Hoover, said Dylan Cooney. Some people think Hoover sucks. I think he's good. I think he's fantastic. And again, he's somebody who can play in a few positions. He can play at right back and he can play at centre back. And he's still young. So, there's no rush for these guys. Leroy reckons that Thiago will sign after his holiday. There was something going around, by the way. How do I pitch this? So Connor sent me something before the stream started. So he sent me a picture of somebody tracking a private plane that landed at John Lennon Airport. And then he sent me a picture of Thiago's sister looking out the window of an aeroplane and some googly eyes. Now, Connor does love a wind-up, but she does seem to be on a plane. I don't know if that's an old image or not, but I don't know. Let's just get excited. Let's track planes. Let's talk about all of this stuff. I know some people are just like, shut up. I don't want to hear about it until it happens, but I love all this stuff. I genuinely love it. Elijah John 5 said, Craig's so famous that our players have his name on the back of their shirts. Imagine Anfield Agenda as the sponsor. That would be class, wouldn't it? We should keep Mane, said Jake. Absolutely, Jake. 100% agree with you there, mate. He signed a contract in 2018, as we all know, and I will be amazed if he isn't offered a new contract soon as well. From my research and what I've been able to look up, I think he's on around 150k a week. I thought he was on more than that, and there are people out there who think he's on less than that. Some people have sent me stuff suggesting he's on 100 grand a week, but I think when he signed that deal in 2018, he got an increase. Now, he's not up to the level of Mohamed Salah, I believe, But I would be surprised if Sadio doesn't get offered a new deal. There was talk that he might get offered a contract to just basically finish his career at Liverpool. And I love Sadio. He's probably my second favourite player behind Bobby. Opinion on the Maguire saga, said Cape Town Muslim. Opinion on the Maguire saga. It's confusing. He has every right to defend himself, and he has every right to have his day in court. Like anybody else, innocent until proven guilty. I know people will say he's already been proved guilty, but that has been squashed because it will now go to a higher court in Greece. He obviously did an interview with BBC that some people thought was very heartfelt and very honest. Other people thought that it was a pack of lies. I don't know Harry Maguire well enough, but seeing people who have been around him, they do say he's a very shy lad. If you look at him even in some post-match interviews, he does seem to look down a little bit and not make eye contact. Like all of these things, there is usually some truth to both sides, and the truth lies somewhere in the middle. I would challenge anybody not to defend their sister if they felt that their sister was in any trouble. All of us would do that. Every single one of us out there, male or female, would look after our sibling in that scenario. With regards to the bribery and stuff, how can I make a call on that? I've no idea. I always like to see people given the benefit of the doubt, though. So I think it'll probably be within a year maybe that this is held. This court case, there is talk that sometimes in Greece the higher courts take 2 to 3 years to get these cases heard. Maybe with Maguire being a bit more high profile, it may be the case. But look, at the end of the day, I think it was summed up very well on Sky Sports by Gary Neville when he said that you've got to ask yourself a few questions in these scenarios. Did I do everything I could to get out of this scenario? Did I do everything I could to walk away from this scenario? Would I have any regrets over it? And look, it's very difficult. These are really high profile footballers out there, and he's every right to have a holiday. Like everybody else, he's every right to go out there and enjoy himself. He doesn't seem to me like the type of lad that would start throwing money at a police officer to say, I'm famous, I'm the captain of Manchester United, how much will it take, kind of stuff. That, it doesn't strike me as that type of fella. But again, I don't know the truth. I wasn't there, so it's not really fair on me to give an opinion. Good people, if you haven't subscribed to Anfield Agenda, could you please do so? Said Elijah John 5. Thank you, mate. Let's get to 50k. Oh, mate, I can almost smell 50k. The dream. Well, the dream's 100k, but 50k is half a dream. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring the stream to an end because there's not really much more news to talk about today. I will be back at 4 p.m. tomorrow to start our countdown show to the Community Shield. We'll be doing a watch-along of that here on Anfield Agenda. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you give us a like, and make sure you've got your notifications turned on. Tomorrow, we'll also have a post-match show as well, where we'll be letting you guys vote on the man of the match and stuff like that. And then we'll be getting the poll set up, our leaderboard over on the Flick app, to allow you guys to make your predictions. And whoever's on top each month or the end of each season, there'll probably be a little prize or two there as well. So please do download that Flick app. There is a link in the description. Thank you very much for giving up your time. Have a lovely weekend if I don't see you soon. Lots of love to all your families out there. And as always, stay safe and be well. Up the Reds.